wonderful Rashmi and Janageli. They are here finally, good to meet them. They are single-handedly responsible for making this evening happen. I want to thank
क्या हुआ बेटा? क्यों रो रहे हो? मत रोना। माँ, मुझे दांतों में दर्द हो रहा है। ओह नो, मैं क्या करूं? मेरे पास डेंटल इंश्योरेंस भी नहीं है। ओह, मैं क्या करूं? आपको चिंता करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। अपना स्माइल रेंजर्स डेंटल जो है सभी की मदद करता है। इनकी रीजनेबल प्राइसेस हैं। अगर आपका इंश्योरेंस ना हो तो कोई फिक्र की बात नहीं है। इनके पास पेमेंट प्लान्स भी हैं। योर स्माइल रेंजर्स डेंटल, a family friendly dental office caring for healthy smiles. Your doctor's son from Smile Rangers Dental, Dr. Nisha Sundragopal, caring for happy and healthy smiles. For appointments, please call 281-665-3960. We are open Monday to Friday and Saturday and Sunday by appointments only. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, welcome to our wonderful show for My Journey with Miss Bharat, Texas. This show is always special, and every week we bring our excellent people from Texas who have been achieved a lot, and Texas, Miss Bharat, Texas was a great pageant. And I am your state director, Dr. Nisha Sundragopal, and your host of this My Dream TV on this particular show. And our show has always been special because it is Texas size and it is Texas big talent. Today's show, we have a very beautiful, superb, fantastic designer from Houston, and she is a famous fashionista from Bangalore, and she is gone to the Fashion Technology College, and she is awesome, and she is a diva, and she is also our co-director of Miss Bharat, Texas, and she is none other than Yamini Shetty from Mini's Collections. I would love to welcome her to our show as our lovely guest for the evening. welcome, Miss Yamini Shetty to the show. Welcome, Mrs. Shetty. How
Thank,
are you?
thank you so much, Nisha. I mean, you just took me down the memory lane. It was so nice. I didn't want my video to end. It was so beautiful.
You
Thank
were a rocking star, and you were like, wow, on that white horse. I don't know whom to admire, the white horse, and you actually dominated the white horse, I should say.
thank you. Thank you so much for the sweet words.
You come up with a dashing style, and how do you do that? That would be my first question for you.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I would say it just comes to me naturally. Or I would say, thanks to my fashion designing degree that I did for the whole 3 years. Well, I don't know. It must be a mixture of all.
Very nice. So let's go to our question. My journey with Miss Bharat, Texas, and you were our lovely co-director for 2019, the very first show for Texas in Houston. So how did it feel? How did the journey began, and what did you achieve with this journey?
Well, to start off with, that was the first thing that I did anything even different from, I've always been doing fashion shows and been the designer, but never done any pageant show. But when it came to Mrs. Bharat and, Miss Bharat, trust me, this platform, it was not, what I like about Miss Bharat is not just about just the pageant show. We just didn't end our journey there. In fact, our journey started from there. It just kept building. I would say, this would be the best platform for anybody to get into, because usually for all the pageants, I'm not naming any pageant, the journey just starts. You enter the pageant, whether you win, you don't win. It's been a beautiful journey so far with My Dream Entertainment. And there is no doubt that you don't even have to ask me how beautiful it was. And I'm sure, for the coming years, it's going to be even more beautiful. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, and like you said, exactly. It's the journey just began, right?
Yes.
And the platform is so varied. And
Yes.
Janet and Rashmi Bedi has given us this My Dream Entertainment platform, so we can further showcase our talents.
Absolutely. We must give that special thanks to Rashmi Bedi ji and Janak ji for, creating a platform, especially for women. This platform is all about women empowering another women. What else can any women ask for? And, thanks again, special thanks to them for, creating this platform for all of us.
Very true, very true. And I have been your minis model, and I
Yeah.
love being your minis model, and it always feel very nice and very contented to be your model because I love your designs. And
Yes.
when did
Thank
you start minis collections?
Well, minis, trust me, I think this was almost, it's going to be 7 years for, for the 2020. And yes, it's been a very different journey. I just started off to do something very little, and now it's grown big, and I'm glad. All thanks to Almighty, and definitely my family, who's always been, there, and friends like you, who's always been there to support me.
True, very true. And I'm a big fan of yours, and
Thank you.
always love your designs, the style you come up with. And also during our pageant, you have been our fashion coach as well as the designer for most of our models, and you helped us a lot. So, what are some of the experiences when you went through some hurdles that you saw from trying to train some models? Can you share some thought processes on it? Just
Yeah.
your
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially doing the fashion shows, I think every show is a new lesson to learn with. Because as I kept doing it, there were, so many things that you'll have to deal with. First thing is about the rapport that the designer and the model always have. Because if you carry a good rapport or the connection that we have, the designer and the model, that is what gives the end result. And we all have seen the results have been so good because And I'm very choosy when it comes to choosing my models, as you know that. And I'm so glad that I have my own set of models and they know what I want and I know what I can get from them. So it had been, I did experience new models and everything. It was nice. But again, as you said, not everybody are made for everybody. So it's the rapport that we built. But trust me, at the end of the day, it was all good. I enjoyed working with each and every model. And well, it is, I think, coming further, I'm going to learn more than, I would, it would be too small for me to say that I've learned enough right now. So, you know,
Yeah.
it has been a different experience and I thoroughly love it.
Absolutely. And your Minnie's Royal Collections
Yes.
during our Miss Bharat Texas show was a showstopper. I would say the Miss Bharat Texas was a huge hit, and
Yes.
your Royal Collections actually made a lot of us turn back and just remember that show even more like grand finale kind of stuff as far as the entertainment part of it. So, how did you come up with those concepts?
Well, with the Miss Bharat thing, trust me, I put my heart in it because I was also a part of, the show. I was a co-director. So, you are already, I mean, my name's already in there for, the Miss Bharat title. And me again, having my fashion show there, trust me, I really wanted to do something because this platform was not a small platform. This is a very big platform. So I put myself like totally into it and I'm glad it all turned out good. Yes, the showstopper event was, I was so happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, and when all your models, it's like those big designers from Bollywood, like Manish Malhotra, Tarun Tahiliani,
Wow,
Neeta
wow.
Luka, and all those big designers, Rohit Verma, when they come and I felt when your Royal Collections came in from Houston, I thought like it had done some justice to that kind
Wow.
of
That's the
that
biggest
glow.
compliment you know, I could ever get from anybody. And, all I will do is just accept it. And thank you so much for such a lovely compliment. But yes, I mean, I'm sure we still have, I'm not yet there. I still
Yeah,
have to learn a lot.
you
Still
learn.
got to do more. But that's one of the best compliments I've ever heard. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Yeah, it's just that, we try and we try to focus more perfection and improvise. And we teach our models and the pageant itself is like a big achievement for many women to just to participate.
Absolutely.
And because they have to break their hurdles and then they come there. And then they meet lovely designers like you during the show. They get to work with you and other designers and they learn. And for them, it's a learning experience. And
Yes,
they get,
as I said, Mrs. Bharat, as the platform itself was all about, encouraging one woman, one woman encouraging another woman. That's what that's the simple line that I would say. And yes, it is very true. What you said is, everybody gets to learn. I mean, as a model, she gets to learn something from me. As a designer, I get to learn something from them too. But yes, it's all about learning. This journey is all about learning.
yeah. And how do you choose the colors, every color palette for your fashion shows? Like you come with a different theme, one was a bridal theme. How do you come with these different color palettes?
Well, frankly, first I would, when somebody asks me to do the fashion show, the first thing that I make sure is what is the background that, what the state's background, what they're going to come up with, and what is the event all about. So I will try to match, or, definitely not match, but, something that can go well with the event that we will be presenting our show. And I try to come up with the new themes every time because that's what it's all about, showing our creativity in new different ways. So once I remember we had done, as you remember, that we did the bridal and then we did the royal theme, and then once we just did the drapes. I mean, it was all about drapes. Sometimes it's just not about what clothing you're wearing. Even the simplest of the cotton saree can also be draped in a beautiful way. So as I said, I would just go with the flow to what event that we are doing and just something think different. Frankly, if you ask me, it's just instant thought. And, I'll take the plan from there.
Yeah, that's the designer in you that just makes all
Thank
the
you.
magic.
Thank you.
That
Thank
is
you.
really lovely. Remember those initial stages where we were training our models the walk, and
Uh-huh.
you were wearing those beautiful skirt, and you were walking and turning around, and
Right.
how did it feel? How does that moments that those are memories? How does it feel?
Oh, trust me, those are the real. I mean, as they say, it's the backstage. What happens is what is the memory, because what happens on the stage is what everybody sees. It's the
Yes.
polished, it's the polished stage what we see. But actually, what, the memories that we capture is what happened back the stage, what we did things in the practices, and it's always fun. Trust me. I mean, it almost sometimes gives me the feeling of producing a movie. Like we see a movie and then we see after, before shots or during the shooting shots and everything. Trust me, after we finish the show and when we get all the pictures and everything, of course we have some pictures from the backstage and during the practices. Those are the real memories that we cherish later.
Yeah, true. And tell me, what is your message for other ladies who are trying to be a part of the pageant and the organizing team? What would be their what they can expect from the show, as well as how they have to work with the models and the pageant contestants. I want some message from you to the women who will be working with us in the future as co-directors.
Well, to start off with, if you ask me, I I believe every woman is beautiful in her own way. It's all about what one person wants. For example, if I'm a designer, as a designer, if I am doing one show, so I would just explain the person or train her to what exactly I want the outlook to come out. I mean, final product, I would say, rather. So final product, this is exactly what I would look into. So when it comes to pageant, as you asked me, I think with the pageants, trust me, every woman is so strong and beautiful in her own way. I think it's just about oneself trying to pull out the best in her own self and presenting it. I guess that's all it is, because everything else would be fabricated if you try to train her and tell things that a lot of them, because we have seen a lot of shows that a woman says something that she really doesn't mean, and she, just because she wants to win the pageant or just because she wants to score some no, the score some numbers from the judges. I mean, I do not believe in that, and that's what we did in Miss Bharat too. We let every participant to be her own self. And I remember when we did some practices, I remember you kept telling, please don't look into the numbers. You're gonna do what you have to do, and just be yourself. So I believe that being yourself and getting things naturally and believing in your own self and putting yourself the best, I think that's what it is all about.
Very true. And for the co-director role, so say if another woman is going to get into the co-director role, so what would you explain to them? What are the roles and the responsibilities and how it's going to benefit them?
Well, firstly, when you talk about the word benefit, trust me, you get into such platforms, this is the start for your journey. When it comes to benefit, it's all about, for me, if anybody asks me how beneficial it was, it's about how much I enjoyed doing it. If I've enjoyed doing it, trust me, it's automatically beneficial to me. And when it comes to playing the roles and how what it would be, trust me, it is a responsible duty that one has to do, because you would be representing a pageant. I mean, it's literally giving yourself in, and doing 100% job is all that you would require. And for me, I was lucky because Nisha did a lot of job. She was the main director, and trust me, she did most of the job. And I would say you were there for my guidance, so I really didn't have to struggle. So it had been an easy journey for me.
So if I were to ask you, can you do this whole role all by yourself? Like if I ask you to do a pageant by yourself, will you be there will you be able to pull it out? Like, yeah, we will give you help and everything. So how could you do it?
Well, that's a very hard question to answer right now. Coming from, because I already experienced one, and I know how difficult it is to pull out a show, and it has to be successful. So it's not about just pulling out the show. So it's got to be successful, and you have to satisfy yourself saying, yes, I pulled out a show. It's the pride that you get in once you finish the show. And after what you did, well, I might not think about doing it again because it's hard to beat you. You did a
It's
splendid
never
job
about
there.
a competition. It's always for us, it's about somebody needs to carry on and we train people.
Yes.
And that's what it is about. Because Rashmi Bedi ji, I watched her when she did the Miss South Asia pageant with Shushmita Sen as her guest. It was like the hottest show of USA.
Yes.
No pageant like at that point of time would think about Shushmita Sen crowning them. And when
Absolutely.
I saw her, to me, I felt like, yes, I am not going to beat her. Like, that's never going to happen because
Right.
she is
But you did
excellent.
get motivated.
Yes, I get motivated and I learn from her, and I am also trying to train other people. And
Absolutely.
I have to thank you as my co-director because without a team, nothing is possible.
True.
And my husband was like, are you sure that you want to do it? I said, yeah, I want to do it. And since I'm a dentist, I can do it alone, but I was afraid that I might do injustice to dentistry. So I was like, I want very strong co-directors with me.
But
And
trust
then
me, I have seen this journey with you since you started, and you have not done injustice to anything. You've done more than justice to both your professions that you carried it. So I know it was definitely not easy because I've seen how difficult that we all had to sit late nights and do it. And trust me, it is a very big task to do. It
and
was
I have
as
to
as I
thank
remember, we both had the conversation. This was just like we are getting someone married.
Yeah, and I have to thank you and Ravi Gunshetty and your kids because I was there in your home literally like so many nights, and I would like 1 o'clock I leave your home because I'm like, okay, we need to call this people, we need to
Right.
get this sponsor, we need to make
Yes.
sure these organizing, like when we had like Daya organizing committee
Right,
there,
right.
and they presented it, and then we had the DJ, we had so many other
Trust me, it was
performers.
too many to pen down. I think you just pulled out just one or two, but it is a very difficult job. But I'm glad that all our hard work, came
From
out
the
good.
day we started, remember the day we started planning the event, and
Yes.
when I gave you the call, and I also gave the call to the other person of the co-director, and then once we formed the team, then from that moment on, Rashmi ji and we all put that one group, the WhatsApp group, and then back and forth, man.
Well, but trust me, I did miss after because we were so busy for the whole 3 to 4 months,
Yes.
putting this thing together. And once the show was over, I was like, oh my God, I have nothing to do right now because I was being so
Yes.
busy. I mean, both of us had been so busy calling, everybody. It was a very wonderful experience, I would say, which, it was ever going to be there in our memory.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's all about creating our dreams and our memories, and trust me, it was a very wonderful experience.
One, right? And the remember the networking we had, and we had so much funny moments we had, and
Absolutely.
we had
And that was
little
the part.
dramas.
We built our network too through
Yes.
this platform. Of course, we had our own network, but we did build so much network using this platform. So yes, it was so good.
60 plus contestants, right? And remember, I would call you. I'm like, okay, we are almost crossing 50, man. And then
Right.
some three girls want to drop out. And then we'd be like, no, we are back to less than 49. And then
No.
we would convince them and we would make
True.
sure we would find out what's the problem. You would give me a call. You're like,
Yes.
Nisha, can you talk to her? And then I would
Because
say, okay,
you had been doing so many things, and you really needed someone to do that small help of reminding you, and all that. It's a small help, but it matters at that time, and you really needed one because you had been busy with your dentistry as well as this, and too many things in your plate.
yeah, and you balanced my role and your role really well,
Yes.
that we were able to do justice. I mean, I want to first talk us through the big event, the show hall, right? The
Yes.
show hall. Remember how we planned, how
Yes.
that we had in Houston, that show had so many shows were hosted in that hall.
Yes.
But on the stadium, on the show hall, we Stafford Center,
Right.
we changed it into a ballroom setting, like,
Yes.
where we had served dinner, where many shows and programs, they were not
Had
providing
already happened,
dinner.
but ours looked totally different. I mean, the whole room looked totally different.
Yes, so that was one thing. We took the same place, famous place,
Yes.
and you and me sat together, and then we designed it. And we remember the little dot drawings
Sketches.
we used to do.
Yes, I was about to say that. I still remember how many papers of sketches we literally had sketched everything, not just the room, the backdrops. I mean, literally, we had sketch of everything.
Everything. And remember the last moments of the show when Rashmi ji was announcing the contestants, and
Uh-huh.
she had put a big table of trophies.
Oh, yes, I remember. I was there.
I loved it. I loved that moment. I'm like, our show is the only pageant. I would loudly saying that, gave everyone tiaras. You
Yes.
always say that. Yes.
Yes, that's so nice. That was the good because see, it's after the show is when we get to listen to the actual, critic, I would say. Everybody were happy and everybody were winners. Of course, there were one or two title winners which had to go on, but at the end of the day, everybody were title winners. And trust me, it's such a good feeling for a woman to be there and participate and still win some title. And it was a beautiful experience that everybody, including participants as well as you and me, we all enjoyed the show.
Yeah, very well enjoyed. And little kids, everybody, we gave them trophies.
Yes.
And like you said, yes, somebody has to win the pageant.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there were 1, 2, 3 winners. But we always gave those consolation prizes so that, and the certificates, and nobody went without anything. So like they had
Nobody went
something.
empty-handed there. Yes.
And they had something to remember about. And it was not about, okay, I lost it, I didn't get it. Everybody had something unique about them that was highlighted in the show. And
True.
we had made sure we tried our best. I mean, we cannot say we were like
Absolutely, we did the
perfect,
best
but
that we could.
yes. And I personally think I want to thank you actually because I gave you a lot of responsibilities, and you just did it so beautifully. And we worked as a team, right? And it was so lovely.
Well, that's what I would say. We worked as a team, so I mean, it was a teamwork. So we'll just have to thank each other about it, and
Exactly. And remember, like we had to really, the big banner, they had literally put it out, and we were wanting to take a picture there, and we couldn't even have a moment.
absolutely. But still, we did manage at least one.
Yes.
Because
It was
we were
so
doing
lovely.
it was like as you remember when we were getting that picture, we did talk. I mean, we both are like the mother and dad of the bride and the bridegroom. We don't have time to take
Time
pictures.
to
We gotta go
everything.
back.
And you were lovely in that brown dress. I have to compliment you on that.
Thank you so much.
If you were one of the contestants, then you would have taken one tiara home.
Surely next time.
Yeah, and congratulations on the Women Empowerment Award.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, that was one of the memorable moments for me from the show, receiving the empowerment award from Pooja Batra herself.
Yeah, and she was down to earth, so
absolutely.
lovely, so friendly to everybody, and she made us very comfortable.
Very
and,
comfortable.
and
Yes,
the evening was very memorable.
yes, yes. As they say, उसने आके चांद और तारे डाल दिया. So she did add some stars in our show.
Yeah, and like her red outfit when she stood on the stage, nothing could beat it. Like
Oh,
she
yes.
was, she
Could
was,
get
she just
better.
yeah, she floored it, and she was the complete beauty of the show. And
Yes.
and then our teen winner was as tall as her.
Yes, that's true.
And so we were proud. Okay, we have
We
one
have
winner
someone
there.
as tall as you.
Yeah, we had someone as tall as you and in the same red outfit. So we were like, hey, so this teenager always remembers that moment as an inspiring moment, Ria. Riya Patibanla, she is a lovely diva, and when she and
Yes.
Pooja Batra stood together, lovely women, lovely, lovely, lovely.
She is. She is. She's very talented.
Yeah, and it was wonderful, and for me that every little component that we tried to do, I think we were able to achieve some good parts of it, and it
Absolutely.
was, and there's always like things which we can make it even more better in our next
Right.
show.
As I
And
said, it's all about learning. The more you keep doing, the more we're going to get, we're going to learn about it. But to our knowledge and for us being the first timers to do a pageant show, I guess we nailed it.
yeah, and all credit goes to Rashmi ji to trust us on that.
Absolutely. She was our backbone. She was always been there for, whenever we needed help, whether it was at the start, at the end, or right at the show. She was there. She was the backbone for, for the whole,
Whole thing, and I'm
yeah.
glad we were able to make it a very grand success Texas event, and
True.
people are actually having a lot of expectations for this next year's show.
Mhm.
And for 2020 with COVID things have been, but the My Dream Global Foundation, thank you for having your son participate on the virtual talent show. It was
Uh-huh.
really awesome.
Oh yes, he enjoyed doing that too. The recent virtual fashion show that we had, he thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you
And
again for, see, it's this is what I said. The journey just started. It wasn't just for me. Now my family is included too. They are also being part of this. So
should have
thank
Mr.
you
Good
guys.
Shetty also walk at some time. I know he loves walking, and so, and I was able to get my husband. And last time he was planning to walk, and because of all the organizing and everything, we couldn't
Right.
really get that happen. But definitely next time you should have Mr. Gun Shetty also walk. He's very tall, and you both make a
Yes.
lovely couple.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, and for Miss Bharat USA, they even had a couple of portion. So I'm
Yes.
thinking to do like a couple portion segment for the Mr. and Mrs. couple segment for the
Mhm.
pageant. And that was a big hit last time in Miss Bharat
Yes.
USA in New Jersey.
Yes.
They did it really well.
That was good.
Yeah, that was really, really awesome. And so, Miss Yamini Shetty, tell me what are your plans for future? What are your dreams, your aspirations?
Well, frankly, I just go with the flow. Let it come to designing or about future planning, I'll just go with the flow because every day I believe every day is I wake up and I look for the challenges every day. I guess we just have to go with the flow because once you set something and if I don't achieve it, I mean, I would get, kind of, what did I plan for 2020? Just imagine if we had planned something for 2020, nothing would have been possible in 2020. So I would rather believe, I would just give my best and do 100% in whatever I'm doing. And I'm sure we're all going to just be happy by the end of the day.
Yeah, and thank you for your contribution to My Dream Global Foundation to buy the hygiene kits for the people who need the most, to the
Oh,
nursing homes, to the kids, and we're going to distribute them. And thank you so much for your contribution.
absolutely. These are the small things that, which makes us human is what I would say. Small donations, which actually does not, make any difference to our bank account, but it does matter to somebody. This is a small act of humanity, and we all should do it.
Yeah, and definitely spread the word for,
Absolutely.
about this hygiene kit to your friends. And you have a lovely
Definitely.
big set of friends, and they're all into a lot of community service. And I know some of them. So please
Right.
spread the word for us because we are trying to do from this platform with My Dream
Absolutely.
Global Foundation for autistic kids as well as mentally and physically challenged kids, and also to the geriatric people with the nursing homes. So we are also, there is a shop for a cause, and you can also have them share the link. And so while they're donating, they're also getting a product in return. So it's like
True.
shopping for a cause. So they're not really like, they're also mutually benefiting with it and
True.
helping also the vendor. So it's really awesome. And that's something what we can do, from our hearts.
Absolutely. As I said, these are the small things which does not matter to us, but it matters to somebody else. So why not?
Yeah, very true. So let's move on to a rapid fire round.
All
And
right.
So I'll just go fast, okay? Because I know that whenever I do this rapid fire round, some they take their time, so the fun of the
Okay.
rapid fire actually goes out. So
I'll be the fastest that I can.
I know, right? So let's go. Favorite Bollywood actor?
Hrithik Roshan.
Oh wow. Okay. Favorite Bollywood actress?
Deepika Padukone.
Oh, nice. So if you were born as another actress, who would you like to be?
Well, I would say Deepika Padukone again.
I thought you looked Priyanka Chopra.
I know I get that a lot. A lot of them say I do look like her, but unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not her fan. So
Nice.
I would prefer
So
Deepika.
another rapid fire. So if you're walking and the heel broke off, what would you do?
Well, I would take my shoes off and I would walk barefoot.
Okay. If you wake up and you are already late for a show, what is your best hairstyle you're going to put up on the show?
Well, I'm just gonna put a band probably and make my hair or I don't know. I've never faced that so far and that would be a nightmare transfer, trust me. But I guess I'm just gonna leave my hair down the way that I am right now and just because this is my
Your
natural hair.
color
So
all the time. I'm a big fan of your hair color.
thank you so much.
Favorite car?
Benz.
Benz. Nice. Would you would you have a swimming pool or would you like to have a big playground at the backyard?
I would love the swimming pool. Being, I'm from Houston and you know how hot it is. We would love to get sunk in the swimming pool for some, to feel that cool. So I would love the swimming pool.
Okay, nice. And so if you have a red or orange, which color are you going to choose?
Red it is.
Red it is. Okay. Let me have one more question. Let me see if there is any trickiest question. If you're going to choose an actor as if you say you're given an offer to act in a movie, if you're going to choose an actor other than Hrithik Roshan, whom are you going to choose?
I would say Aditya Roy Kapoor because he's the new crush for me. So I love him.
What would be the title of a book if you write one?
um, I would say Minis just because I've been doing everything with Minis. So I'll just leave the name to Minis.
Minis, yay! So if you were asked to have probably, I would say, a grandma to walk as a Minis model, what are you going to do?
Well, I would love to have a grandma to walk on my model. As I said, every woman is beautiful in her own way, and probably I frankly would love to have a grandma walk for me.
Awesome. That is so lovely. That is so sweet. For COVID, any positive message for our viewers?
Well, trust me, I mean, frankly, if you ask me, COVID has taught us a lot to do things to do things in the efficient way. Because whatever we had, of course, probably with, the era that we are living in, we are so much used to, having everything and we are so, luckily provided for, available for things and we are not used to doing things in a sufficient way. And I think COVID has taught that a lot. And, I believe in everything has a problem in its own way, but it's all about how you pick the positive point amongst whatever we have and just be happy about it. I mean, we cannot be happy about since we got COVID, but try to make it, lively and not crib about it, not cry about it, because it's not going to go away anyway if you start crying today or crib about it all day. Rather, try to make the best of whatever we can.
That was a lovely positive message and having more efficient time to
Yes.
do more stuff. Thank you so much, Yamini. That was a lovely evening that we had. It was
Thank
a
you.
sweet chat and that was awesome and memorable. And thanks for your inspirational words to the next directors and co-directors who are going to hop
Yes,
on.
absolutely. You guys must get in. Firstly, I would like to thank you for having me here and making me feel like a star and someone's interviewing me and all these things. It is it's a small pleasures that we really enjoy. And as you said, these are something that we're going to carry down the memory lane and cherish it, as we see it. And thanks to Rashmi Bedi ji and Janak ji for giving us this platform and, having us carry forward this more and make more memories is what I would say.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
viewers. This is your host, Dr. Sun, Dr. Nisha Sundragopal, State Director from Miss Bharat, Texas. And let's move forward with 2020, and we will have an awesome show soon. And let's all rock together in Texas.
Goodbye.
क्यों रो रहे हो? मत रोना। माँ, मुझे दांतों में दर्द हो रहा है। ओह नो, मैं क्या करूं? मेरे पास डेंटल इंश्योरेंस भी नहीं है। ओह, मैं क्या करूं? आपको चिंता करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। अपना स्माइल रेंजर्स डेंटल जो है सभी की मदद करता है। इनकी रीजनेबल प्राइसेस हैं। अगर आपका इंश्योरेंस ना हो तो कोई फिक्र की बात नहीं है। इनके पास पेमेंट प्लान्स भी हैं। योर स्माइल रेंजर्स डेंटल, अ फैमिली फ्रेंडली डेंटल ऑफिस caring for healthy smiles. Your Dr. Sun from Smile Rangers Dental, Dr. Nisha Sundragopal, caring for happy and healthy smiles. For appointments, please call 281-665-3960. We are open Monday to Friday and Saturday and Sunday by appointments only. Thank you.